Hello there, very good evening and a warm welcome to the news live on Rupavahini Channel I. I'm Sharon Mascrinius.
Good evening, I'm Clifford Richards. First of all, we take a look at the headlines.
The President receives the committee report appointed to look into gas cylinder-related incidents. The Litro chairman reiterates that there is no change in the composition of gas and therefore no need to create unnecessary fears. The government focuses attention to make it compulsory to produce the vaccination cards when entering public places with effect from next year. The Omicron virus spreads to 89 countries worldwide. Health Division stresses the need to be more protective during the Christmas season. The food crisis in Afghanistan worsens.
Now for those and other stories in detail, starting off with local news. The report of the committee appointed to investigate gas cylinder-related incidents and to provide solutions was handed over to the President Gotabaya Rajapaksa by the chairman of the committee, Professor Shantha Valpulage, today. The President has appointed the committee on the 30th of November this year with the objective of looking into the gas cylinder-related explosions and fires reported from domestic and sales centres in many parts of the island recently. The committee has focused attention on the spot inspections of the two main companies, Litro and Laughs, within a 2-week period, and also on investigations conducted through 11 institutions. It has also taken into consideration the incidents of fires and explosions recorded at 17 locations and information received through electronic mail. Chairman of the committee, Professor Shantha Valpulage, said that a comprehensive report has been prepared upon identification of the incidents and preliminary causes behind such accidents. The committee has recommended proposals on long and short-term measures to be implemented to alleviate the problem. President Secretary P.B. Jayasundara, Secretary to the Ministry of Technology Jayantha De Silva and members of the committee were also present on the occasion.
Meanwhile, chairman of the Litro Gas Company, Theshara Jayasinghe, says that there is no change in the composition of the Litro gas. He therefore requests the consumers not to create any unnecessary fears in using gas. The chairman has made the request at a media briefing organized by the Presidential Media Centre today. The Secretary to the Ministry of Technology, Jayantha De Silva, said that 3 court cases have been filed. He added that he could state without any fear that not a single container in the shipload contains more than 30% of propane. He added that he could categorically state that there is no problem relating to butane composition. He added that a minor problem has cropped up lately regarding finding gas leaks. The Secretary added that one of the methods is to find out any gas odors emanating from the cylinders. He added that after inspection of all precautionary measures, they have given permission to unload the gas from the 2 ships. Chairman of the Litro Gas Company expressed his views later. Well, according to the chairman of the Litro Gas Company, Theshara Jayasinghe, he says that SLS has declared the standards this morning. Accordingly, a gas cylinder being sold in Sri Lanka should contain a maximum of 30% of propane. The standards applies to newly issued cylinders. The chairman has also expressed regret over the difficulties faced by the general public in this regard. He added that the protection of the consumers have been intensified through the internal administrative procedures.
Health Minister Dr. Kelia Rambukwella says steps will be taken to make it compulsory for the general public to produce the vaccination card when entering public places with effect from next year. He adds that accordingly, a special application and a code number are to be provided for those who have received both doses of the vaccine. The Health Minister also says the management of the public places are entrusted with the responsibility to enforce the law. He further says that every person has the right to remain without receiving the vaccines, but they have no right to place in jeopardy the lives of other persons. He also says that the program will be carried out according to legal instructions. The minister calls on to fully vaccinate themselves with the booster dose as well. The health minister also engaged in a meeting with the Japanese ambassador in Sri Lanka, Mitsukoshi Deki, at the health ministry today. The Japanese envoy said that on this occasion that Sri Lanka has effectively used the Japanese and aid provided to control the COVID pandemic. The health minister further said that tourism industry has a direct impact on the economy of the country and therefore a certain program has to be implemented for the tourism industry through economic management even amidst the pandemic. The Health Division reiterates that receiving of the booster vaccine is extremely important to minimize complications that could have arisen as a result of the affliction of the COVID-19 disease. An island-wide vaccination campaign centering on the provision of the booster dose targeting persons above the age of 20 years is being carried out successfully. The administering of the booster vaccine has also taken place at the Diathuena premises. A further consignment of more than 700,000 doses of Pfizer vaccine was brought to the island from an aircraft from Dubai today. So far, 32,284,106 doses of vaccines have been inoculated on the people of the country. Out of this number, the first dose was given to 15,968,147 persons. The number of those who have received both doses is 13,810,442. The booster dose has been delivered to 255,477. 417 COVID-afflicted patients have been detected in the country today. Meanwhile, the Director General of Health Services has confirmed that 12 COVID-19 related deaths which have occurred yesterday.
Meanwhile, the Director General of Health Services, Dr. Hemant Herat, says that the government has reached a decision to introduce a vaccination card to the public. He further added that it will be mandatory for people to have the vaccination card in possession when entering public places. He made these remarks at a media briefing held today.
There have been reports related to the emergence of super variants. By several reports are being published. However, we want to emphasize that whatever the new variants are developed, when the virus is continuously replicated and multiplied, and during this process only the variants are emerged. If the number of viruses multiplicating or replicating in a given community is minimal, the risk of emerging new variants also will be minimal. In a country like Sri Lanka, we would say that if we can contain the number of patients or the infected people within a community to a minimum, the amount of multiplication will be minimal and therefore the risk of emerging the new variants also minimal. What we need to do is to make sure that we are not going to allow the spread of the disease, and what we have to do to achieve this is adhering to the health guideline and get the relevant doses of vaccination everyone. If you do that, we will be in a very much lower risk of getting such new variants. With regards to the news related to the making the vaccination card compulsory for going into public places, Ministry of Health is in the process of developing the relevant procedures related to this, and it will take time. And however, I would like to emphasize that those who are not vaccinated are at risk of getting the disease and at risk of getting complications. So therefore, they should be protected themselves, refraining from going into public places where the risk of disease contracting is high. Wherever possible, they should refrain from going into public places. And also, when these unvaccinated people are getting infected, they are more likely to spread the disease also. They can be a threat to the general public who are there in the public places. So, most important thing is there cannot be people who have not got the vaccination because the vaccine is safe, vaccine is available, and there are no complications, and therefore what is important is everyone should get the vaccine.
U.S. infectious disease expert Dr. Anthony Fauci says that the Christmas traveling will increase the spread of the Omicron COVID-19 variant even among the fully vaccinated. Dr. Fauci, who advises the U.S. government on the pandemic, said that the variant was now raging through the world. Countries are tightening measures as the heavily mutated variant spreads. In Europe, France and Germany are amongst those to issue travel restrictions, and the Netherlands has imposed a strict lockdown over Christmas. Governments are also ramping up their COVID booster vaccination programs after researchers said that the additional shot could provide around 85% protection against severe illness. Dr. Fauci said the rapid spread of the Omicron in the United States could have a serious impact on the health services across the country. Dr. Fauci said people needed to take precautions such as wearing face masks and social distancing. He also urged more Americans to get their vaccine and booster shots. Meanwhile, South Korea has reported a shortage of hospital beds as critical COVID-19 cases are hovering around 1,000 for 3 straight days. And those who have taken the booster jabs are confirmed to be among those infected with the Omicron variant. The country reported 997 COVID-19 cases today. Israel imposed a travel ban on the United States, Canada and 8 other countries amid the rapid global spread of the Omicron variant. The move to red list the United States comes amidst rising coronavirus infections in Israel. In the meantime, Asian share markets fell and oil prices slid as surging Omicron cases triggered tighter restrictions in Europe and threatened to drag on the global economy in the new year.
Meanwhile, coming back home, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa, addressing the state Christmas festival, said that the Lord Jesus Christ had taught an excellent lesson to the world by showing compassion even to those who put him to death. Well, the theme of this year's state Christmas ceremony, held at the main hall of St. Mary's College, Kegol, has been the symbol of humanity and love is Christmas. The ceremony centered upon the St. Mary's Church in Kegol was addressed by the Prime Minister through Zoom technology from Temple Trees. Wife of the Prime Minister, Madam Shirantha Wickramasinghe Rajapaksa, presented a multimedia projector and a screen to the Dean of Kegol Deanery of the Immaculate Heart of St. Mary's Seminary, Reverend Father Ranjan Mal Morias, on behalf of the Ratnapura Diocese by the Department of Christian Religious Affairs. A presentation of 20 sets of books for Sinhala and Tamil school libraries in the Ratnapura Diocese and 100 Dhamma advisory books for Dhamma teachers has also been presented to the Catechetical Director of the Diocesan Pastoral Center, Reverend Father Jude Amila. Prizes have been also distributed on the occasion for winners of the Bible Quiz Competition and the Christmas Postal Stamp Competition 2021. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that every religion teaches to lead a virtuous life and not to spread hatred and malice. The Premier also said that the Lord Jesus had called on to grant forgiveness to those who commit sins without knowledge. The Lord has taught a magnificent lesson to the world by not showing hatred to the very persons who had attempted to kill him on the cross. Therefore, Jesus is known as the Prince of Peace. The Premier further said that he believes that it bears a timely relevance to celebrate this year's Christmas under the theme, Christmas is a sign of love and humanity. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa also said that the government is continuously committed to giving prominence and safeguarding of Buddhism at the same time of extending state patronage and protection to all other religions. He added that they have established this fact by not merely restricting their commitments to words. Addressing the beloved Christian devotees, the Premier has further pointed out that religions are entrusted with the massive responsibility of maintaining discipline in any society. A decline in disciplinary conduct nurtured through religious upbringing has contributed to an increase in crimes in the society. He added that therefore it is necessary for the religious leadership to embark on an accurate guidance of the followers of the respective religions. The society could not be molded only through punishments. A society could not be rectified through prison sentences on culprits. Every society should have to be nurtured with values. The Mahasangha Bishop of Ratnapura Diocese, the Most Reverend Cletus Chandasiri Pereira, and Deputy Clergyman of the Diocese, Reverend Damien Fernando, and other Christian clergymen, ordained sisters and ministers and government officials also attended this ceremony.
The general public have been severely inconvenienced due to the work stoppage carried out in some hospitals today by the Government Medical Officers Association. The Ministry of Health says that when providing internship appointments, priority has been given by taking into consideration of vacancies. The doctors' strikes have taken place in all hospitals in the districts of Polonnaruwa, Trincomalee, Manna, Nuwara Eliya and Ratnapura. A 24-hour work stoppage has been conducted from 8 a.m. as trade union action has been taken in protest over the actions of the Secretary to the Ministry of Health in post-internships. The GMOA says the strike will be conducted on an island-wide basis from tomorrow. The essential services and emergency treatments are being conducted without any obstruction. Acting Deputy Director General of Health Services of the Ministry of Health, Specialist Physician Dr. G. Vijay Surya expressed his opinions and said a sense of transparency should be strongly maintained. Therefore, he added that the GMOA was also incorporated in the program. In preparation of the list of vacancies, he added that the GMOA membership have endorsed the steps by placing their signatures in the list. Dr. G. Vijay Surya further said that therefore they have never engaged in granting appointments in an arbitrary manner. He also said that the Health Minister or the Health Secretary has not created any impact in any manner in this respect. The GMOA Secretary, Dr. Chanel Fernandez, said that the signatures were not in a list of assignments as in the case of vacancy list. He further said that the Health Ministry is showing people only the list of vacancies. The President of the Government Medical Officers Forum, Dr. Rukshan Bellana, said that they condemn the strike. He further says that the trade unions have no right to meddle in these issues.
Minister of Mass Media Dallas Alaperum says that the Youth Parliament should commit itself to win over the challenge of bringing a higher recognition and an indomitable place to the Sri Lankan nation. The minister further points out that the Youth Parliament concept has given way to empower the youth representing every region of the country. Minister Dallas Alaperum was addressing the 10th anniversary celebrations of the Youth Parliament Forum at the Rajarata Mahaveli Pratibha Hall in Manampitiya, Polonnaruwa yesterday. The minister has inquired whether the Youth Parliament is being used today as a replica of the Supreme Parliament guaranteed through the Constitution of the country. The minister has further stated that the Youth Parliament should not look into the affairs of the Devanna Parliament, instead on crucial factors such as why 50% of the Sri Lankan students failing in the subject of mathematics. He added that we are not looking into the issue as 55% of the recruitment of the universities are based on district category. He further said that he has presented the cabinet paper in his capacity as Minister of Education to look into whether this was reasonable, requesting to make changes. The minister has also requested to set up a school-based foundation rather than a district-wide selection. The minister has also requested the youth parliamentarians to present their valuable opinions to the members of the Supreme Parliament of the nation.
The All Religious Conference says that it regrets over the incident of several students refusing to receive their awards from the Chancellor of the Colombo University, the Venerable Muruthettuwe Anandathera. This was disclosed at a media briefing of the conference held today. Venerable Galagama Dhammaransi Thera said that he is graduate of the Colombo University. The Venerable Thera adds that all universities are the outcome of free education. He added that, however, unfortunately, certain groups are using politics to fulfill their aims and to incite others to unruly action. Under such circumstances, an incident of this nature has occurred at the Colombo University. The Venerable Thera adds that he shows compassion to the students concerned, saying that the students of Islamic devotion have received the awards from the Nayaka Thera with respect. Babu Sharma Kurukal said that it is extremely unfortunate for showing disrespect to a Mahanayaka Thera who commits a great service to the people. He also said that there is no use in higher education if there is no discipline. Maulavi Hazan Maulana said that our sole objective should be to produce a disciplined society devoid of religious differences.
The Women in Management organization launched Sri Lanka's first ever professional Women Leadership Calendar 2022. Launching ceremony was held in Colombo today. Well, this newly launched Women Top 50 calendar was presented to the Chief Guest, State Minister Dr. Sudarshani Fernandopulle, followed by Senior DIG Ajit Rohana. The calendar features 12 leading female figures in the country, including the founder of Women in Management, Dr. Sulochana Sigera. The two main objectives of this initiative is to create awareness of the importance of women leadership in the corporate, business, society and politics, as well as to raise funds to build a free kitchen for the people in need.
Normally, women are used as commercial objects, and within that, they are shown to be relatively, comparatively weak characters. But it's not. That's not the case. Women are strong. The few women who are in leadership positions have climbed to these positions with great difficulty, with a lot of obstacles. So let me, while thanking and congratulating Wim for another milestone achieved, let me also congratulate the 12 women who are being featured in the calendar. You have been given a task to inspire other women, especially the young women. I wish you all the best, and I hope you will be able to inspire more women to enter into leadership positions. As the Women's Parliamentarian Caucus, we have only 12 parliamentarians across different political parties. However, we get together where women's issues are concerned. So right now the government planning to draft new constitution. They have already appointed a committee, and the Women's Caucus has already submitted a paper to this constitution, the committee, to increase representation not only in politics.
Professor Roshan Pereira says that the cannabis cultivation of medicinal value should be legalized in Sri Lanka. Participating in a media briefing in Colombo today, he has further pointed out that such a measure would enable Sri Lanka to earn a large amount of foreign exchange. Dr. Vasantha Veliyange was also expressing his opinion on this occasion. Professor Roshan Pereira said that many countries in Europe as well as in Canada and the United States remain in the forefront as cannabis is a large scale of worldwide trade. He added that cannabis provides medicine for diseases such as seizures in children of 2 years of age and many other diseases. This is a drug, an ingredient in the type of medicine called Epidiolex, used in the treatment of seizures. It also enables to manufacture 124 other types of drugs. He added that if Sri Lanka produces and exports 100 kilograms of such drugs in a day, it will be able to earn an income of 17 billion rupees in a year.
අපිට පුළුවන් අවුරුද්දකට රුපියල් බිලියන 17ක වගේ ආදායමක් ලබන්න.
මේ තියෙන කාන්සා ඇට වලින් ලබා ගන්න පියල්
Dr. Vasantha Veliyange said that people in developed countries use the covering of cannabis seeds as a source of food. The seeds could also be used as milk through blending. The cannabis seeds could also be extracted, procure and oil. These oily food are extremely nutritious. They could be used as a substance in beautifying of the body. Dr. Veliyange also said that 25,000 products of cannabis are being used throughout the world today for manufacturing of sanitizers. In addition, the trunk of cannabis tree could be made used to produce cement blocks. The gum of the cannabis is an extract of the CBD chemical, which is one of the most healthy plant-based chemicals. The bark of the cannabis is also being used in the coir industry.
Well, the All Ceylon Zoological Workers Association expresses confidence that the new Director General of the Department of Zoological Gardens would take measures to develop the institute and to grant justice to all employees. Members of the association in a media briefing at the Colombo today has totally rejected the accusations leveled against the new Director General by a small group of employees of the department. The president of the Pinnawala branch of the All Ceylon Zoological Garden Employees Association, M.A. Dharmatilaka, said that a new female director has been appointed after the former female Director General of the National Zoological Gardens. He further said that they find her to be an exemplary Director General. The branch president also said that an uproar has been created after her instructions to act without being lazy. He added that all employees should extend their cooperation to develop the National Zoological Gardens.
Here's more local news in brief. An agreement of understanding was signed at the Ministry of Home Affairs today pertaining to those who violate immigration laws between Sri Lanka and Australia. The agreement also deals with repatriation of illegal migrants. Minister of Home Affairs of Australia, Mrs. Karen Andrews, and the State Minister Chamal Rajapaksa have attended the occasion of signing the pact. Presentation of educational scholarships of the All Ceylon Buddhist Congress has taken place at the ACBC headquarters yesterday. The Mahasangha, headed by the Venerable Professor Kongastanne Anandathera, State Minister Duminda Dasanayaka and President of the All Ceylon Buddhist Congress Chandra Nimal Vakishta has also attended the event. The centenary commemoration of the My apologies. The Sri Lanka Air Force has handed over a MiG-27 fighter jet discarded from active services to the Moratu University today. It was presented to the Vice-Chancellor of the Moratu University, Professor Niranjan Gunawardena, by the Commander of the Sri Lanka Air Force, Air Marshal Sudarshana Patirana. The Sri Lanka Air Force and the Division of the Aircraft Engineering of the University have also entered into an agreement of understanding relating to the exchange of aircraft. The Air Force Commander said on this occasion that the SLAF will extend assistance for the setting up of the laboratory of the aircraft, conforming to standards. Meanwhile, the inauguration ceremony of the transformation of the primary divisions in schools of the smart classrooms place at Royal College in Colombo today. And 3 suspects have been arrested along with weapons over the incident of a shooting to death of a person today.
Well, that's it on the news. Do enjoy the rest of the programs. Take care, good night, and stay safe.